Good morning to you all. Today is the 22nd of December 2017, and I just wanted to bring to you a few words I was given from the Lord over a period of the last few months. The reason I haven't brought them forward yet is because the Lord was building a picture in my mind, and I wasn't 100% sure what it was all about, so I've just had to wait for more revelation. But because of the UN meeting that's happening right at this moment, the tensions that are building because of Trump's decision to make Jerusalem the capital of Israel, and the possibility of there being military action or fighting breaking out at some point soon, I just felt that I better reveal what the Lord has been telling me about China. Now, I do say China, but originally I wasn't sure if it was Japan or China. So the first thing I want to explain to you is that in, I think it was June or July of this year, I had a vision of a wall, and on the wall appeared some chalk that started to draw. And as it was drawing, it was just a very rudimentary drawing, and it was just like this gentleman is a samurai warrior, and you can see he has his arm out here, and I saw the arm, and I saw the top part of the costume. And as you can see, the warrior costume, they have the very pointed shoulders. Immediately that I saw the drawing, I thought samurai warrior. Only half of the costume was drawn, and it wasn't very intricate, it was just an outline, but it was enough for me to recognize what it was, and then the vision stopped and I woke up. So that was the first thing I saw, and as I thought about that in the days that followed, I realized that really it could have been a Chinese terracotta warrior. So I just diaried it and waited for the Lord to show me more. So then I went on and had another word on the 13th of November 2017, and this time it was just a series of words, and I'm going to show you, brothers and sisters, what they were. Sorry. Terrible at my videos, I really apologize for that. So the first word was dynasty, and then it led on to disaster, and then discipline, and then sword. So just a group of words, but I was under the impression that one thing was going to lead to the other, to the next and the next. So once again, the whole concept of dynasty came into the picture, and once again I was thinking China, Lord, or Japan, and I wasn't sure, so I had to pray about that. Just a little bit more information, brothers and sisters, about a dynasty, in case you aren't aware. A dynasty is where a family has been ruling a country for years and years and years, sometimes centuries, and it's just one family, a bit like the royal family, where there's a bloodline and the rule gets passed from one family member to the other. And Japan has a dynasty at the moment called the Yamato dynasty, and that has been in place since 660 BC. So I'll go on. So I prayed about it, and on a particular day, on the 2nd of December, before I went to sleep, I asked the Lord, you're giving me the picture of the warrior. Does that mean there is a country that is going to be a major part in the coming World War III? And I asked him, could he reveal to me if he's talking about Japan or China? And during that night, he did. He gave me a word. And the word was Record of Heroes. Now, I had no idea what the Record of Heroes was all about. and I didn't even equate it to my prayer about Japan or China until the next morning when I put it into Google, as we do. And what came up was that it was the title of a book. And the book is about the history of the Chinese dynasty, the Han, I think it was the Han dynasty. And so he answered my prayer in a way that I could have no doubt that it was his answer, not my own. If a word China or Japan had come into my head, then I would have thought, oh, that might have been me, because he answered it in such an obscure sort of way. I knew that it was him. And the verse that came to mind was Jeremiah 33:3, and it says, call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things that thou knowest not. So, my dear friends, just to finish, I just want to point you back to, I think it was the last video I did about God telling me that he was tired of the people trampling all over Israel. And I encourage you, if you would like to get a better picture of things, to look at that video. But he also told me he was getting his army ready to go and protect his land and Jerusalem. So I think he actually just mentioned the land of Israel. So it just builds a bigger picture if you haven't seen that video. But just before I go, I just wanted to share with you another little picture that he gave me on the 2nd of December, because I'm in confusion about it, and there might be somebody who might have some understanding from the Lord. I don't have the gift of interpretation really, and maybe it will mean something to one of you, and you might be able to help me. So I'm just going to show you what I saw. So this was all given to me on the same night that I received the word about the record of heroes. But the first thing I saw that night was a vision of a wheel or a ring similar to the rotary symbol. But it didn't have notches on it that I remember, and it had words running around the rim and on the other parts of the wheel. And you can see that I've actually drawn a picture of a wheel. Now, this is not accurate to what I saw. It could have been quite different to this, brothers and sisters, because I was really trying to concentrate in my vision on the words that I saw within it. And so I didn't really get an accurate look at what the wheel itself looked like. So I just don't want you to focus on that shape and think that's what it looked like, because it didn't. But it definitely was a wheel with a rim, and it had words around the rim and also in other parts of the wheel as well, I think. And then the words I heard were official I. And that's where I need your help. And as you can see at the bottom of the page, I also heard the word Pugh's Law. And now I had to look that up because I know nothing about that. And when I looked it up, I was amazed to find there is such a thing as a Pugh's Law, and it is a legal, a piece of law that is wrapped around church pews. So any of you who are into a bit of research can look that up. Once again, that is an entire mystery to me as to why I was given those words. So brothers and sisters, if you've got anything, any words of wisdom that might reveal what the Lord had in mind there, I'd love to hear from you. But as always, what I tend to do is just write them down and sit on them, because he does reveal things, sometimes months later. But as time is going, I'm just thinking, do we have months? So if he does want us to know something about that in the near future, maybe one of you will have some insight. I'm just really grateful to have you all out there, so that we can share the wisdom that he gives us. and I ask His blessing on you for this day. Goodbye.